Hi, everybody.
Hello, hi.
Hi.
Welcome.
Welcome to Nightmares. Who here has been to Nightmares before? Yay!
All right.
The rest of you have not been to Nightmares, so let me nightmare-splain how this is going to work. So Jason and I are going to talk for a little bit, and then we're going to bring up our guests one by one. They will tell us about their nightmare. It'll be hilarious. We'll talk to them for about 15 minutes, and then I will give them a drawing that I have prepared about their nightmare. And then with the drawing, they can take it home, and it's suitable for framing or for ritual burning, whichever feels like the right thing to do with that nightmare. I suggest burning. Honestly, I'm just into burning everything right now. I think fire is the solution.
You have the Marie Kondo of hell.
Yeah. Exactly.
This has brought me no pleasure.
It's literally sparked joy.
Yeah.
You did a cartoon to me. I was a previous guest on the show, and it was one of the best things that to do a show and then get a cartoon of yourself at the end of it from Emily Flake was the greatest. I was like, do you want me to pay you for this? What do I have to do for this? And it sits on my wall in my studio now. And my parents visited recently and said, what the hell is that? And I'm like, well, that's a dream I had about you and Dad that my friend drew for a live show. She's like, you know what? I'm sorry I asked.
Did I make things very awkward for you and your parents?
A little bit.
All right. Well, that's what I'm here for.
Yes.
Let me introduce my co-host, Jason Chatfield.
Oh, hello. Hi.
Also a cartoonist. Honestly, I should have made you do the drawings for this one.
No.
You're like a measurably better drawer, I think.
Not at all. No.
Yeah.
You have better...
You're taller.
That is true. I'll take it. All right. That's about as much... As far as artistry goes,
right.
Taller is better, always.
Better reach.
Yeah. Hirschfeld was taller than Stedman. Yeah. That's...
in his own right.
Very esoteric.
Yeah. Taller than Gory. I don't know.
There you go. That's better. That's better.
Yeah. We're going to stop naming illustrators now. And start the show. Jason, how are you?
I'm okay.
Oh, fuck
Whoa,
me.
boy.
Sorry, that was my phone.
That was my how are you alarm, just to get me out of whenever anyone asks me that question.
Forget that happens, you guys. Everything's cool.
When you're on a bad date and you're like, all right, call me in 10. That's what happens when someone asks me how I am. I'm not good. I'm good and bad. I'm in an existential quandary because I just had my family in town for 3 weeks from Australia in New York City and playing tour guide for 3 effing weeks. And then I got a puppy. So I'm in a weird state of bliss and misery.
Wait, but is your family gone?
They just left and I'm in recovery.
Ooh. Yeah. Didn't you move to the other side of the planet to get away from
If you drill a hole from New York to the other end of the planet we call Earth, it comes out in the Indian Ocean about a mile off the city, Perth, in Western Australia that I'm from. It's the furthest possible place that you can fly. And they found me. They found me.
Yeah. You probably could have just moved here and never told them. Because it would be very hard for them to get here and search for you.
Where were you 5 years ago?
I know. I'm sorry. I'm really good at life advice.
Later on.
Yeah.
Retrospective life advice.
Yeah.
That's great. You'd be a great financial advisor. Facebook would have been great.
What you should have done was set all that shit on fire. Oh, yeah. But you have a puppy.
I have a puppy.
Yay.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
I've wanted a dog forever.
Yeah. Getting a dog in New York is a bold move, especially a puppy. Do you rent?
We rent as well. It was a big deal. And it says in our lease, you're not allowed to have a dog, but our neighbor is a dog walker. And we asked her, she's like, fuck the lease. It's cool. And I was like, all right.
Yeah, that's totally within New York City law. Fuck the lease. It's cool is the tenant motto.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's case law. It's like Allie versus the city of New York.
Yeah.
And she was cool with it, so I was like, I'm going to get a dog.
Right.
And it's a baby French dog. It's a little puppy. It's a French bulldog. He's 10 weeks old.
And how does he keep you up at night?
Yeah. We're on the floor at 4 a.m. playing with him.
Just like a real baby.
See, this is the thing. It's obviously nothing like a real baby, but also I have a dear friend, Ellis, who just had a baby, and immediately my respect for him and his wife went up 1,000,000,000%. And anyone who has a kid, I'm like, holy crap, this is a lot of work.
Yeah. And puppies are cuter, so...
I don't know. I think they're on par, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
You're training him. You're doing the poop training. You're walking him. They've got the vaccinations.
Right.
Shitting themselves. He's sick. He got the thing that all puppies get. The
Mice?
Giardia. I wish mice.
You're right.
I wish mice. No, that's not kennel. Someone just said kennel cough. Didn't get kennel cough. Got Giardia or Giardia or whatever it is.
I'm familiar with Giardia. I've never had it, but I hope to get it someday.
It's like a retirement plan.
It eats your food for you,
It
and you
does.
lose weight without trying. Then you die. But, for
But you
a
look
while.
fabulous in
you're
the coffin.
Yeah, exactly. No, I don't think you even die. I think you're just sick for a while.
Yeah.
You drop some weight. Then you take the anti-whatevers. And whatevers. That's the. I am a medical doctor.
Again, it's the
You
retrospective.
take care of the
thing.
problem, and then you're good. So if your puppy could come lick me in the mouth, that would be awesome.
Well, that's how it's passed, is licking in the mouth. And so immediately, as soon as I got my puppy, it licked me in the mouth.
Oh, really?
But I didn't get it.
Well, you
I'm
don't
good.
need it.
I don't need it. I have enough. I have parents in town. But
Right.
then my puppy has this thing, and so he's getting better, and I've got to give him a syringe in his mouth 3 times a day. It's a whole thing. And so I'm immediately now going I'll never ever call anyone breeders. I'll never say that again in my life.
Right.
I have immediate way
Yeah.
more respect for anyone
Because
who
now you
raises
know
a child.
just what it's like to have a baby.
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
This is the thing. All right, just so I don't know if we've ever talked about this. I've always considered Emily more of a stand-up. Like I think you're naturally a comedian because
You just
you're.
keep saying nice things, and you just follow me around.
Well,
all the
that's an
time and say
insult,
nice
by the
things.
way. That's a massive insult. I
Well,
just said that.
fuck you then.
Hillary Campbell's here, and I just said you're a comedian, and she's like, "That's so nice." I'm like, "That's not a good thing," because she can't help but do it, which is a horrible. It's like Yardy. You can't. There's no.
Except it doesn't make me thin.
Yeah, it does if you do it right. So what happened? I remember seeing years and years ago. I remember seeing a lot of your cartoons and thinking, "Oh, that's a bit." Because a lot of your cartoons are very personal, but they're bits. They
Right.
feel like bits. Whereas some cartoons are just like they're very cartoony.
Right.
But you're always
So
you're
you're not
always
calling me
a
a
comedian.
good comedian. You're calling me a shitty cartoonist. Right on.
I'll see you guys later. No, but that's how I've always considered you as like a comedian because
Okay.
your cartoons are very comedy, very bit. It's like writing a bit, and
Okay.
that's what I've always liked about your stuff. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Anyway.
Wait, was that going to circle back to
It
something?
was going to circle back to the parenting thing because a lot of it was
Right.
very personal and about raising children in
Yes.
Manhattan, and it was very like I started to relate to a lot of things this week
Right.
of yours that I remember going, oh yeah, that's right, it's tough in the city.
Oh, I 100% had
Yeah.
a baby for the joke.
I've done less.
I'm
for
not
good
sending
jokes.
her to college.
Yeah. So that's kind of my where I'm at. That's a
Right.
very long answer to how are you.
Right. But no, that's the answer I wanted.
That's good.
And that's the
Okay.
answer I got. I have not been remembering my dreams lately. It's funny. I started this show a year-ish, something ago, and then immediately stopped remembering my dreams. Like, my brain was like, oh, do you need these? Sorry.
Your brain is Jim Henson.
Do you not have a Muppet in your head all the time?
I think
No.
we all do. Yeah.
Your life isn't fun. And then they came back, and I started remembering them again, and I immediately started having night terrors again, which my husband super loved. So once again, I became the wife that was just like, no, and he'd have to shake me awake, and I'd have to tell him it was something he did. But then recently, I have not been remembering my dreams again.
Right.
But I have been living some nightmares.
Yeah.
So, number one,
Please.
I found out that our building sold and we have to move.
Wow.
So that sucks.
That's a big
but
one.
that nightmare has a happy ending because we found a place 3 blocks away.
Hey.
So we do not have to uproot our life. We just have to move all of our shit to another place where it can still be shit. And man, I am telling you, nothing makes you realize that like you're a fucking 42-year-old with garbage in your house and the fact that you have to now move this garbage. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I got all my furniture from the trash. Like, yeah.
Me too. My entire apartment was furnished from the sidewalk.
You know what's
I
sad
didn't
is
buy
like
anything.
my sidewalk trash furniture is nicer than my IKEA stuff because it's like once you build your IKEA stuff, if you move it, and I don't mean move it to another apartment, it's like if you move it 3 inches, it's all of a sudden garbage.
Shattered.
It's pressboard garbage.
Yeah.
I don't know why we keep doing this to ourselves.
I think in the vain hope that one time you're going to find that Moby Dick piece of furniture on the side of the street. Go, this'll last.
Yeah.
Every time I've done sidewalk shopping, and like not even like bed bugs and fleas and things, it's collapsed within 6 months.
I have a dresser that is just fine, and it didn't have.
Really?
It, to the best of my knowledge, did not have bed bugs.
Oh, fingers crossed.
It looks like shit, but it works.
I have a 110-year-old writing desk in my apartment that I think is haunted.
Oh, writing!
Yeah.
Jesus.
What did I say?
A writing desk for a second.
It's
and I
my
was like,
silly accent.
What is a writing desk?
Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it keeps your glutes tight.
Right. The desk rides you.
Do you not have one? That's weird.
Right. Yeah. This is America, sir.
I think it was a dream I had.
Right.
Yeah.
Man.
Writing desk.
A
I'm
writing
sorry.
desk.
I'll hit my
Well,
T's
good
harder.
for you.
Thank you.
Man. The other nightmare is part of an ongoing nightmare where, hey, Holly, remember when you did my parenting comedy showcase and I had to wear a scarf because I had lice?
Oh, boy.
Guess what we got again last week? Yeah.
Oh.
I do not have lice right now, but we get it all the time. And this time I was just like, I just went on Amazon and I ordered every single thing that had the worst word lice in it.
Yeah, I believe that.
Like, I'm like, I don't care. Again, set it on fire. Like, we might have to cut our hair short and burn our scalps.
And get those little combs.
I don't know. No, because she got it in school, and then then we were fine the whole summer, and then she started going to camp, and now she fucking has it again. And I don't know if she's just making out with everybody. She is. Look, she's a legit sexual predator, so I would not be surprised. And this is what she gets, but but then I get it, and and of course my husband has never gotten it, except he got like one nit the last time they checked him.
Right.
My daughter actually asked a really good question. She's like, well, what's the nit? I'm like, it's the egg. She's like, how could he only have the egg?
Ooh.
Well, I'm like, oh, fuck.
Really good question.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Go to your room.
She learned that at camp.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did she have to do that little thing with the comb, with the nits where you have that really thin comb that you just...
Yes.
Yeah, that's horrible.
She
it's
has
so
long,
painful.
thick hair.
Ugh.
And, we have to, put the shit on and, comb it through. And then I have to, wash her hair with, louse. It is such a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, just Sinead O'Connor that shit.
I
Just
know.
Get
She
rid of
would,
it. Start again.
She would not look good bald.
Really?
No, she really wouldn't.
How old is she, though?
She'll be 7, but she's not one of those, real skinny 7-year-olds where,
She wouldn't remember it.
I basically just told you my daughter is too fat to pull off a crew cut.
Yeah.
But I don't. You really need to have this whole gamine thing happening. It's I don't know. She's my daughter. What do you want? So I don't know. Lice it is.
Lice
Fuck.
it
I need
is.
to go home.
We just found an episode title. Lice it is.
Lice it is.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know. What are you gonna do?
That is a living nightmare.
It is.
Wow.
And it has a lot to do with sleep because you have to also wash all your pillows and do
you
that.
have to burn them? Isn't that a thing? They say
I spent a lot of
incinerate?
fucking money on those pillows. I am not burning them. You do have to put them in a dryer for a long time, though.
Right.
So there's that. I don't know. And I embarrassed myself very badly at my laundromat recently. So now I have to go back all the time. Be like,
What did you do?
okay.
I have to know.
So I went in. I put my clothes in the washer. And then I
Yeah.
went to go get a coffee or whatever. And I came back. And the woman running the laundromat got up and she kind of gestured to it. She's like, it didn't close. And I was like, oh, it didn't. There was a strand of something hanging out, so the door didn't close all the way, but it ran the cycle. So she's like, she walks away, and I thought she's like, I thought she said the door's open. I was like, oh, okay. So I'm going to go get it. And so I open the door, and all this water just goes. And she's like, I said, don't open it. I was like, oh, shit, I realize that now. And there's just water
advice.
and soap all over the place. And she just gave me this look like, you fucking moron.
But you can't find a new place.
No,
because you're not
we didn't
moving
even
that far
move
away.
exactly. Yeah, we didn't move to. Maybe we should have taken the place in Kensington so we'd have a different laundromat.
That's a solid reason.
It kind of is. Yeah, like now she knows. Now she knows.
You're on a list now. Somewhere.
Yeah. I am on the laundromat list of like idiots who come in here and fucking make more work for me.
A veritable laundry list of people
Exactly.
that cannot come to this place anymore.
Get out.
I need to hang up my cartooning pen. Oh boy.
Yeah. So on that note, let me tell you guys about how the art thing is going to work. What we're going to do is after we talk to everybody, we are going to very awkwardly pull this guy down.
Yeah.
And I am going to turn the slide. That's a picture of Jason's puppy.
Do you get it now?
Cute. Yes.
It's just the best.
How great is that puppy? Extremely great. Yeah.
His name is
absolutely. Morris.
Little Morris.
Morris with Giardia. Oh my god. Oh, that's so good.
Morris of Giardia.
Morris.
It's like an old Lord of the Rings character.
Exactly. He put orcs in your tummy. All right.
Very cute. You just got the best horse. I hope you got that on mic, so you can just put that in later on.
I feel like we should just pivot to this being like a podcast and show about puppies.
Yes. The internet will hate that.
Yeah. Historically, the internet does not do well with puppies. So, all right. Our first guest is Gastor. Are you here? Awesome! Yay! You may know him from Comedy Central's This Is Not Happening. He has an album called Immigrant Made. Please welcome to the stage, Gastor Almonte. Hey, how's it going?
Chilling. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's good to see you. How have you been?
I'm always good. I'm honestly just had a little like scary reenactment nightmare moment in the back while you guys were talking because I used to be a manager at a furniture store and we had a customer come back with a mattress he bought 10 years ago and ask us to take it back.
No.
And we told him like, I'm sorry, I don't know if you know how warranties work, but you know, they don't usually last the life of the mattress.
Right.
Wow.
So I mean, obviously, like my employees went through this. The sales reps that met them, the office associates. So they called me to explain this to them the third time, and the reason it got scary and why I kind of remembered it now is because he said, if you don't take it back, and then he reaches into his pocket, he pulled out a glass jar with lice and bed bugs. And he was like, if you don't take it back, I'm opening this up in the store.
Oh my God. I would so much rather be mugged at gunpoint.
Yeah, it was. I've never, I'm from East New York, Brooklyn, so I'm used to hey, you go, thank you. So I'm accustomed to holdups and stick-ups.
Right.
I've never been. I got the scariest moment in my life was a guy with a jar. You understand that? Everyone backed away, they just and I had to handle it. I can't leave. I'm still the dude. So I took a step back, but I'm I can't go too far because that's gonna let him know that we know he's crazy.
Right.
So I gotta I have to do it slowly. Where I'm still talking to you, sir. For my safety, I'm gonna be here, but I don't want to go that far and let you know that you're nuts. But yeah, it was fun.
You turned into the negotiator.
Yeah. You're I don't know sign language, but I figured out that in emergencies, you very quickly learn how to call the police.
Right, yeah.
With just your face. Right. I don't know how to do that now, but if I have to, I could do it again.
But
you beam it with your eyes.
Yeah, I know I conveyed it, and I know that someone did it, and they showed up, and they was like, "Yo, how'd you know to do it?" He's like, "Because you told me." I was like, "Okay, I know I did.
Right.
I'm glad you understood what I was saying without saying it."
I love
did you take the mattress back?
Of course not. No, this is a principle at this point. Because I was they were the cops asked me so what are you gonna do? I was like, I want you to take him out of here. He's like, you gonna handle the customs? I'm like, I know I'm right as a business, A, but B, if he has that many bed bugs and lice in a jar, I'm not bringing that mattress in here. I'm gonna contaminate the whole store. I'm gonna have itchy sales associates. Really? It's insane. I can't have the whole rest of the day. How would this was at the store opened at 10 in the morning, So This was 10:30. Like, I'm gonna have you selling sofas at 10:45. Yo, you should buy this. Nobody's gonna believe this guy. Nobody's gonna believe the dude scratching his arm all day.
Is anybody not insanely itchy right now?
Just hearing this. Here's the thing that gets me about this. Sorry, I don't want to cut you off. What were you saying?
No, and that's the thing. Like, so the whole rest of the day, everyone was like, "Y'all feel itchy. Y'all feel itchy."
Yeah.
I went through so much. Like, I was spraying everybody with alcohol. Like, everything you could think of to work. We were YouTubing solutions on how to solve it. Like, yo, they're like, you know, 'cause I've never had this situation. They're like, you got to call somebody to come do it. I'm like, I know, I'm gonna do that, but in the meantime, like, we itch now. You know,
Yes.
like the cop was telling us, he's like, you have to close the store. We've had this happen in other locations.
Wait, what?
Yeah, and that was the other part. So, like, the cop escorts him out. And and his partner's telling us, he's like, yeah, you know, you have to close it down, get it sprayed if you ever opened it, you know, for safety. I was like, okay, cool. And he's like, yeah, we've had this happen before. I'm like, okay, so what happens? He's like, oh, we walk him out. I was like, okay, and then, you know, like, he gets arrested. He's like, oh, no, we're not putting him in our car either. I'm like, so he's just out there.
You know what I love? My
He's
favorite
just there.
thing.
It is the perfect. I'm telling y'all, if you want to be a criminal, it is the perfect crime because no one will touch you. It's incredible.
Yeah.
This is how I'm going to shoplift from now on.
It's amazing.
This is so great.
It is a superpower.
Holy
like,
shit.
It was genius. Like, he had it covered, but like just loose enough that like when you shake it, you hear the cat. So it was scary. I was like, yo, chill.
Oh my god.
All right.
Staying away.
Number one, how is he getting them in there? Like scooping them up and the others aren't getting out?
These are questions I didn't even get to in the interaction.
The second one is, when you gestured to your shop assistants, call the cops, how does that call sound?
I see, and these are all moments I'd love to have been a part of. I was trying to save my life.
Yeah.
You know? And then you know what really sucks? You know, when you get robbed at gunpoint, there's pity. When you get robbed
You're at Louse Point.
by somebody with a jar and you go home to your equally tough East New York wife, she has no pity for you. She doesn't care. She's like, oh, word, whatever.
She would have cared if you had brought home bed bugs.
Right. It was no win or loss for me. Like, if I get the bed bugs, oh, you can't handle your job, Gastor. You know, you can't keep people from spreading bed bugs at your job. That's what I would have heard. But because I controlled the situation and I didn't get robbed by the bed bug guy, I got nothing. I showed up and she was just angry. She was because she was mad at me because I showed up late. And she was like, yo, like, what happened today? You know, you were supposed to stay with the kids, supposed to go out. I'm sorry, I had a bed bug hostage situation. And she is not about that. She was like, I don't want to hear these stories, Gastor. Like, I don't care. You know, we got stuff to do.
With your shield or on it.
You know?
Like, man.
Whoa.
Did the cops not have one of those, like, things that they put around, like, vicious dogs, like a collar where they can't get too close and it's on the end of a stick? Could they not have used that to protect?
But the thing is, you have to take, like, what I was hoping is you put him in a car and take him away. They take him out, like, they tell him, yo, we're going to escort you, but they don't actually touch him because they don't want to do it, but they insinuate that they would, right? And they get him out the door. But once he's out the door, they're not touching him either. Right. They're like, because this, and the dude told me, he was like, I'm going to be real with you. I ride this car 40 hours a week. I'm not putting him in my car.
I mean,
then I got to detail him. Yeah, I get his point. But in the moment, I was angry. I was like, yo, my G, like, this dude is in here.
Yeah. Oh, man.
That's...
That was a real life nightmare. I know it's not part of the show. It's not what I came to talk about. But I needed to vent. I've been holding that in for 5 years.
Wow.
You know?
Please always share that story if you feel compelled.
You got to understand, the day it happened, I came home ready to vent. Like, yo, my wife is awesome. She's normally really supportive. She did not give a fuck about my situation that day. So I came home and I was like, yo, honey, you don't know what just happened. She's like, Gastor, you're late. I was like, honey, there was a dude with a jar holding me hostage with bed bugs. And it just didn't register. I don't know. It didn't hit. Because she was like, I got to go. We'll talk about it later. And we just never got to it. So she got back. And I'm like, you know, by the time she got back, I'd already seen like so many like gangster movies. Like I seen Menace and all that, Paid in Full. So like in my head, like I'd already like gotten over it. I was like, you know, cocooned, like, I don't need you, B. I got this.
Right.
I'm going to get over this next cocoon situation. Next time a dude show up with a jar, I'm going to go all in. I got it. You know, I'm going to have my own jar. I'm ready. You know? I don't need you, shorty. I'm ready for these moments.
He's carrying around a dryer with him.
Yeah, I was I was prepared now, so I didn't need the consolation
Wow.
Oh man!
But I didn't realize until now I really needed to talk about that. So thank you for coming
that's
here,
what we're here
inviting
for.
me here.
This is basically stage therapy.
Yeah.
So, like, I now have a new worst New York fear. This might be worse than being shoved onto the subway tracks.
It's scary. It
Yeah.
is legit terrifying.
Yeah. Oh man!
Wow.
Oh, well, I'm not sure how your nightmare could be scarier than this.
Yeah. So,
But tell us your nightmare anyway.
yeah. So, ever since me and my wife started dating, she said that I would continuously stiff arm her when I was sleeping, right? Because I was having this dream that people were taking my wife and my kid siblings. They're like 18 years younger than me. So she was like, "What are you dreaming?" And I was like, "In my head, people are taking y'all away, so I'm trying to save y'all." And she's like, "Okay." So she's like, is it like, we're in danger, like there's like people shooting us or something? I was like, "No, I'm a running back and you guys are the football." And I'm trying to get to the end zone, right? But instead of just like regular players, it's really violent players, right? So like I picture like a football player, but when I look inside like his face mask, it's like Suge Knight. So like I know he's not just gonna tackle me.
This is like the triple XFL.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't know what the rules are, but if you tackle me, I'm not standing up. Like I'm not getting a second run at this play.
Right.
So yeah, I had that dream from when we were dating. So and she was like, she's like normally like, when she talked to her girlfriends and they were like, yeah, like if somebody's stressed, like they might like hit you. She's like, you didn't hit me. She was like, you would do football shit. She was like, you would put your arm out and stiff on me. She was like, if I was too close to you, you would forget whose pillow is who, and you would snatch my pillow and like hold it, like for real on some football shit, and I would just not have a pillow that night, honey. And I was like, I'm sorry, baby, but I got you to the end zone. Like,
Right.
you would,
Did you do the touchdown dance?
I was like, you got there safely. So it was scary, but they never died. But it's just I kept having it over and over again. Like, I had a fear that if I got tackled, they were gonna get killed, and it always happened whenever like we just started like something new. So like when we first moved in together, when we first had our daughter, when we first bought a house, when we had my son, anytime like I've had like a new like addition or escalation, I've had them again. So yeah, she knows whenever I'm stressed because I start like doing spin moves and stiff arms in the mattress, and it's not like cocky shit. Like I'm not doing it during sex. I'm doing it when I'm supposed to be sleeping.
If you were stiff arming your wife, like,
well, it depends on how.
That's
Like it
between
could
you and
be
your
for
God.
posture. Yeah, like whatever
Right.
you into. There's positions where that might be vital. I'm just saying,
In like a single bed.
right.
Right.
But at the moment, it just wasn't helpful. Like I know that. I
Right.
get it. So yeah.
and why football?
And I played football
Oh, you played
in high
football.
school.
Right.
And that's the other thing too. Like she was talking to me because we knew she's my best friend's older sister, so she knows me for years. So she was like, I remember when you would tell my brother your football stories. All your favorite stories were horrifying about football. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, well, she's like, you were telling them about like you have a jersey from your last game where like you hit the kid so hard that his face mask paint is on your shoulder. And I was like, yeah, that's beautiful. She's like, no, that is scary as fuck to normal people that don't play football.
Right.
And meanwhile, I had it like hung up in like the living room. Like I had my parents talking about it and shit. I was like, yeah, this is our son's jersey. He almost killed another high school kid on the football field.
Right.
He seems very proud of this.
Somebody's almost dead.
Yeah, and it's really hard to explain that when you're like Dominican parents, they don't understand football at all. They're like, I don't know, I think it's a good thing. It's no one's come to arrest them. We want them to play baseball.
Yeah.
But this is what happened. So yeah,
What position did you play?
I did two things. I was a guard and I was a linebacker.
Okay,
So-
I asked that like I have any fucking idea. Like,
I was hoping you would know.
yeah, no, I had to look up what's a running back. Like,
There you
It's
go.
a stiff arm.
And that's the other thing. I was like, it was real cocky of me to assume that I would be a running back in these dreams. I don't run that fast. Like I don't. Like running backs are really athletic dudes. This is not what I did. My
Right.
job was to hit one person really hard,
Right.
who was usually a foot away from me before the play even started.
Right.
Like it's not much to do. Like you just fall forward harder than the other person and you win.
That is my dream sport.
like that was
by
my
the
job.
way.
It was amazing.
I don't know why I don't play football. If that's a thing you can do,
That's all.
I'm great at
There's
falling hard.
the 5 people on the front of each side of the team, the linemen. That's literally all they do. Fall forward faster than the other guy could fall forward on top of the other guy.
That's my kind
and
of
you
sport.
won. That's
So
it.
it starts sort of with a cuddle puddle, and
Yeah.
then ball happens.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can get behind that.
It's a great sport.
You're right.
So I did that for 4 years, and for some reason my head thought, you know what? You're not the star of the show enough. You need to be the running back in these traumatic dreams about
Right.
saving your family. And
Right.
here we are.
Oh,
Wow.
Man.
So yeah, when I'm talking about it out loud, it actually sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
In the moment, it is traumatizing as fuck. I have to say, I do not like the dreaming of the dream. Does not feel cool. I always wake up drenched in sweat. Really, like my heart's beating real fast. I don't know. It's because I just ran 100 yards. You
Right.
know, that alone would do that. Like
Yeah.
it is tiring.
Thinking about running 100 yards.
Yeah.
It's sweaty.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is. You know, it's a moment. You know.
I mean, if your arms are doing this, your
Yeah.
heart is probably doing
Yeah.
Right.
like your whole body is doing the football thing.
Yeah, like I feel like I might not actually be doing it, but I'm doing it in somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Is this a recurring nightmare?
it happens like I said, every time there's like a major moment. So
Yeah.
I like this year I've had it once, but that was because I had to fix the air conditioner. I got central AC.
That is, in his defense, that's a fucking
Yeah.
major
That's
fucking
moment.
scary.
That
Y'all
is a
don't
major
understand.
moment.
Yeah.
You don't understand the pressure
Yeah,
of
it's a
fixing
lot.
central AC
Yeah.
when you are the landlord of a 3-family house and no one else but your unit has central AC, right? So
Right.
'cause it sounds cool, right? Like if you're a tenant, right, and you got a AC unit in your window, normally you hate the landlord because you got the central AC. Like, oh, this cocky motherfucker doesn't have to put in the AC unit into the window. But once every 7 years, when that central AC unit breaks, I got to fix it on the first floor while water from your out-of-window unit is dripping on
Oof.
my forehead. Like, that is the cockiest moment for my tenant's life. Like, they literally watch me suffer in a 90-degree apartment going in and out to get water, trying to fix my own unit.
Oh,
Look,
man.
as a tenant with extraordinarily haphazard landlords, I have to say that gives me like just a little bit of joy.
I understand.
Yeah.
I mean, if I ever go to mug someone, I'm not going to use Tix. I'm going to use a jar of air conditioner water.
Right.
That's next time, because that is the shittiest, most horrible black mold water.
It was
that
rough.
just yeah.
Yeah, nobody wants it, and it kept hitting my forehead. Like, it was just perfect.
Ugh.
It would wait till like I had to like do something in the
Yuck.
unit.
And that's how you get Giardia.
Circle of life.
You're right.
Man.
All right, I'm going to show you your drawing.
Awesome.
This is my favorite part.
All right, let's see. And like I said, we just do this very awkward thing where we pull down this screen, and then I operate my telephone.
Y'all see this? I'll move and see, make sure.
There it
All right.
is. You ready?
Holla.
So this is you playing football
Y'all
with a
making this
baby,
move.
saying, "I've
That's
really got
crazy.
to renegotiate my contract." And yes, I had to Google image search running back.
Amen.
You don't have the stain on the shoulder yet. He'll add that in.
I appreciate someone. I appreciate the Giants colors.
Yeah.
Right, it's good. I also like that I'm probably one of like only 2 historically chubby running backs. This is great.
She did that as she
It's
Googled that as
beautiful.
well.
It's accurate. It's me and Jerome Bettis. We are running really well here. I like this.
So I was in a room where the Super Bowl was happening like 10 years ago or so, and something happened where the ball came to a guy who's not supposed to run, but he had to get it like from one end of the field to the other, and he did it. This very large man ran all the way from the end, and he got it to the other end, and then they had to give him oxygen. And I was like, John, what just happened? He's like, that dude's not supposed to run.
At all. They don't even teach us that. Like, anytime a lineman sees the ball on the floor, the job is to fall on the ball. That's it. They don't even want you running. They're like, nah, B, don't try. It's not for you.
All right. Well, now we know
beautiful.
more about football. I do.
Amen.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
Hey.
Thank you so much. It's a
Thanks,
real
man.
blast.
That was great.
You guys
Thank you
rock.
very much. Thank you.
That was so funny. I'm never going to look at lice or mattresses the same way again.
Seriously. Yeah. I'm-
Weaponizing lice.
I know. I'm just going to go live in a desert with no hair and
Yeah.
no clothes, and it's going to be great.
That's called Burning Man.
Yeah. Ugh. You ruined it! You ruined my fantasy! God, not
Sorry.
even desert. Fuck, man. Ugh.
That is the correct response to that, by the way.
All right, our next guest is a very funny comedian and one of my favorite people. She is the founder of a sketch group called American Candy. Please welcome to the stage, Hollie Harper.
Woo!
Hollie, good to see you.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, how's it going?
It's going really great. It's my anniversary today.
Hey, congratulations!
Yes, my husband.
How many years?
21.
Wow!
Man.
Our love is grown. Our
Yeah.
love can drink.
Yeah. Are you taking your love out for drinks tonight?
We have
celebrate?
to. We have to
Yeah.
take
Yeah.
our love out for drinks tonight. Some
Nice.
sushi.
I think everybody should buy Holly and her husband drinks tonight because it's their anniversary.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
Not too many. He got to drive. You know, he got to drive.
Let's get your love fucked up. So you were on my show, Shit Show, which is about
Yes.
parenting, a few months ago, and it was your birthday. So I'm gonna only have shows on important dates in Hollie Harper's life from now on.
I was like, oh my God, how is this possible?
Yeah, the stars, they just aligned.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Do you have any life stories?
Like, I don't have any. Okay. Oh my God, I do.
Oh, boy.
When I was in high school, the first high school, in two different high schools. The first high school, they had this class. It was like a small town in South Jersey, and they had this class like parenting. Why they had a parenting class for 15-year-olds? Don't know.
They would have had one at my high school.
Okay.
We had a whole yearbook page of pregnant girls.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
And in the middle of this page, they had a photograph of a traffic sign that said "No way out."
What? Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my. Wow.
What is this high school?
What?
Manchester, Connecticut? I don't know.
Yeah.
Go there sometime. It's terrible.
Oh my god!
Oh my God. But I remember I used to babysit these little kids that lived across the street, Jenny and Susie. And I was like 14. They were 3 and 4 years old. So they had like a daycare at the high school, and they wanted to get the girls used to taking care of children. So they were like, why don't you bring in Jenny and Susie? And all the other girls brought in some neighbor. And Jenny and Susie gave everybody lice. Oh. Except me.
Yeah.
Because I'm black.
Yeah.
It's true. We
Yeah.
don't get lices easy because we use oil in our hair.
That's
so
legit. That's something I've learned in my extensive internet searches
Yeah.
about.
Isn't it
lice.
sad? So, like,
Right.
like when my
Yeah.
daughter's in preschool, like, other kids get lice, they'd be like, that's so sad.
Right.
That's so sad for y'all. I'm so sorry.
That
But,
feels
like,
just a little bit fair.
Yeah, but girl, people were pissed
Yeah.
at me. Everyone was like, Holly probably knows little fucking lice kids.
Oh my god.
They were furious. I remember
Yeah.
their mom was like, it's not a big deal.
Right.
And I was like, it kind of is.
Kinda
You
is.
know?
But what a good birth control lesson. Like, if
Right.
you have to take care of kids with lice, you're like, sew it up.
But yeah, that happened. That happened at like 14, 15. I didn't have a baby till I was like 36, 37 years old.
Yeah.
Like, I was like not even trying.
Yeah, they
After
should
that.
if you have a traumatic experience with a child in your early childbearing years, it's
Yeah.
like it's the best.
It's the best.
Yeah.
It's the best. Like right around between 15 and 20.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm just going to skate to
Yeah.
30.
That's when you let a baby shit on your face, and it.
That will happen.
Yeah, that didn't
That
happen
will
to me until
happen.
it was my own, and there was no way out.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh,
man.
man. Okay, tell us about your dream because it's actually like an interesting. Sorry.
Spoiler
Tell us
alert!
your-
It's
yeah.
very good.
Right.
Okay, so like which one I told you the other day?
The
Okay.
Okay.
So I have this thing where my dreams are like premonitions, and it's not always good because I never win any money. Do you know what I mean? I never win any money or anything, but I've had a thing since childhood where I have a dream and I don't know what it relates to, but like all of a sudden that very same thing will happen. Like it will happen. When I was in high school, I used to work at this restaurant in the summer, and then I went away to boarding school. That was my second high school, and I had this dream that the kitchen burnt down. That the kitchen would burn down, but not the dining room, which was be weird because it's all wood in the dining room. And then I was calling and calling after that summer. I made friends with a lot of people, and they were like, "Oh, I'm sorry, we were closed because the kitchen burned down." You know, and I would just have strange dreams. And my mother had is that when my grandfather died, he was like such old school, like did everything. My grandmom was like one of those last of the Mohican housewives. And when he left money, and they didn't know where it was. My mom had a dream that she's walking down the streets of Philly, and my grandfather was like, "Follow me." And he pointed to this bank, and she was like, "It's the First National Bank on Chadwick and blah," and that's where the money was. So like it got passed down to me. So at my school, I went to this boarding school. It was a Quaker boarding school in Newtown, Pennsylvania. It's like right outside Amish country. And one of the kids there was Bill Cosby's son. So, like, forget the whole Bill Cosby saga. This has nothing to do with it. Forget all that. But his son, Ennis, he has 4 daughters. They went there, too, but I didn't know them. He went there. He was 2 grades above me, and he was just the nicest kid. Like, the absolute nicest kid in the world. And it was crazy. The only thing I can compare him to was that he was sort of like a John, like JFK Jr.'s son.
Right.
Like, he was like the black version of a John, just tall, gorgeous. Like, you would just walk in the room, you notice him. So, fast forward, like, almost 10 years after graduation, I had this dream that I saw a black man in a white T-shirt and blue jeans, and he was dead on the side of a highway next to a red convertible. And I woke up, and I turned on the TV, and I said, there's my dream. And it was Ennis Cosby. And it was Bill Cosby's son. Ugh. And so, like, that sealed the deal for me in terms of my dreams. And I've had not several, but at least 4 or 5 dreams after that have been very premonition, very, very much a premonition of what's going to happen.
Is it always something negative, or is it sometimes something positive?
No, sometimes it's something positive. Like,
right.
my husband is sitting right there, and when I met him, it's the craziest thing. I met him, and we met like over the phone. Okay, we met over the phone, and he used to manage a night at Stand Up New York comedy club, right?
Wow.
And so I was trying to get into comedy. It's the first time I tried to do comedy, and someone put me on to him. So basically, I went to the club, and I was only talking on the phone to him. And I got to the club, and I looked like we go to Stand Up New York. It's like it still has a glass door. And I looked at the glass door, and at the end of the bar was this fine brother just sitting there. And I was like, I'm going to go talk to him and then go find this guy, Keith Seychelles. Right? So, but I looked through the glass, and I had like a flash. Like, I just saw 2 children. I saw a boy and a girl, and I was like, that is crazy. But, like, we met, and I was all trying to flirt with him. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to come back. I'm going to talk to you in a second. I find this guy, Keith, and then I'm going to come back to you. And he's like, I'm Keith. And I'm like, oh, my God. I've been totally flirting with this guy for like 20 minutes. But that night, I had a dream that he washed my hair. I dreamed he washed my hair. And I didn't know what that meant. So this is 21 years ago. I had to go to the library to go get this book. And I got to the library. Like, I was so serious about this. Went to the library here at Grand Army Circle in Brooklyn, not right here, the borough. And it was like, that means someone will take care of you. That means that somebody will take care of you. Yeah. And so I've had dreams through my life that have been happy and scary, but I never know when it's going to come. Like, I don't know.
That's such a nice shining to have.
That's amazing.
It was a great shining.
Yeah.
Like, it was wonderful.
Like the Phoebe
my husband every
Hallowell
once
of
in a
New
while
York.
gets like premonitory dreams, but it's always something awful.
Right.
Like he had one like he lived in Montreal for 11 years, and it was like the one school shooting that's ever happened in the history of Canada, and he had like a dream about it the night before it happened. And I'm pretty sure it's like he didn't do it.
Yeah.
But
You have to say that.
yeah. And I really need to issue that disclaimer. But yeah, no, that's really, really cool.
It's amazing.
It's cool, but it's like not cool. Because like sometimes I'll have a dream and I'm like, does this mean anything?
Right.
Like, I had a dream a few months ago, and then, like, you have, like, your little Facebook friends. Like, you have your little crew.
Uh-huh.
And, like, they were concerned because I talk about my dreams. But I had a dream that I was coming home, and someone tried to do, like, a push-in robbery.
Right.
And never forget, they had on black and white Chucks, which is, like, every third person in New York and have black and white Chucks.
Yeah.
But they stuck their foot in the door. And I'll never forget, I was trying to slam the door, and their foot. So for, like, 2 months, anytime I was in my lobby, I would just not get into the elevator if you had on black Chucks. And there was a couple times where I was like, nope, I'm good. And they're like, Hollie. And it was like someone I kind of knew, and I was like, I'm fine. It's fine.
Right.
You just go ahead of me.
Well, it could have saved your life.
Yeah. Black Chucks in a jar of ticks.
Yeah.
And a jar. That jar
Jar of
story,
lice.
what the?
Yeah,
oh my God.
that's going to stay with me.
Yes.
For a long time.
genuinely
Because that would
haunted
work.
by
I'd be like, I'll give you anything.
Yeah.
Just take it.
Yeah. Like, or, because I don't know. I've never had bed bugs. Knock wood.
Yeah.
And it just sounds like you have, I mean, beyond burning everything, it's like you just can't live anymore. Your life is over.
Yeah,
because they never die. They don't die.
The bed bugs.
They injected the AIDS virus into bed bugs to see if it would transfer, like to see if you could get AIDS from bed bugs. Basically, you can't. But the bed bug killed the AIDS virus.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Are bed bugs the cure for AIDS?
The bed bugs might be the cure for AIDS.
That is the logical extension of that study, which I'm pretty sure I read and didn't make up. But
on Reddit? Like, where did
that
you
is
read it?
insane.
That's amazing.
But yeah, so I don't know. But I think they are actually like doing research into like why can a bed bug kill the AIDS virus? Like,
Oh my God.
No, but bed bugs, it's great. When you I had them. We had them one time. It was crazy because we have 2 kids. Our son was like only 3-4 months old.
Ooh.
So like to have to go through that, and I flipped out. Like, I don't know about anybody else if you ever had bed bugs, but I was like, like I just lost my mind. And then I made the landlord. I called the landlord at midnight.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I don't care. And he was like, you woke me up. I was like,
Well, I ain't
you're going to
sleeping.
be here tomorrow. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
You know what does it? It's the super microscopic close-up photo that they show you of bed bugs.
No, when the guys
That's what
came in
gets
with the
me.
hazmat suits.
Yeah, right. Right.
Like they
Yeah.
said, you got to leave for, some time. And they came back and they
Right.
were like, do you want to, they gave me the goggles and like, you want to see it under the black light?
oh my God.
Right.
No.
Oh, never
And I
ever
looked
say
at
yes.
it under the black light and I was
Nope.
like, my soul is crying.
Look,
If you
Right
go to a
now.
Holiday Inn Express or have tickets, never say yes to under a black light, ever.
No.
Yeah.
If
Horrible.
you really are living in like a computer simulation, I have words. I have some notes for the developers because like that's some. Ugh.
Yeah.
But tell me about your real estate dreams because I mean, like I was like, I can't draw Ennis Cosby on the side of the road because that would be traumatic.
Yeah. But I have I have this dream that there's this apartment that I've never been to, and I keep coming back to it in my dreams. Like I'm supposed to move in there.
Right.
And each time I'm walking through and I know where every room is, and it's like a weird kind of apartment. It's like a fictitious neighborhood, like between Brooklyn and Harlem. Do you know what I mean? It's like some neighborhood that
City
does
Island?
not. I know,
Yeah,
right?
right.
It's called Manhattan, but like it's it's this fictitious neighborhood. But I have this dream that I constantly go through, and I know where everything is.
Right.
But I've never been to this apartment.
Right.
I
This is
don't
amazing.
understand.
Yeah.
Like what is
Is it
this?
always the same apartment every time?
It's always the same exact apartment every time.
Wow.
And there's a
But yet the-
recurring dream.
It's a recurring dream, but yet the people that answer the door are different, and I'm so rude to them. I'm like, yeah, I know where everything. Like I just go
Right.
through, and I'm like, that's my bedroom, that's my daughter's bedroom. I know where
Wow.
everything is, but I've never been there.
Right.
I think one day I might get there and completely lose my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then I think they have to give it to you.
They have
I
to
think
give me
that's
that
the law.
apartment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Legally, they have
Yeah.
to do that.
And it's so sad because like I like our apartment, but like every apartment I live in since that dream, I'm just like, it's not the apartment.
Listen, the two
not the
things you have
apartment.
to know about New York real estate law is fuck the lease,
Right.
and if you dream it, it's yours.
That's pretty much it. They're the
So-
two
Gotta
ones, like
be,
squatters'
that's
rights.
got to be the rule.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
got to be the rule.
Exactly.
It's just
amazing.
weird though because I feel like I don't know if you believe in past lives or if maybe you saw something like because think about it. I didn't start thinking about this until I started realizing that my son and you have a daughter. They don't remember anything
Right.
before like 4.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm like, did I see this place as a young child?
Did
Do you know what I
live
mean?
there
Like,
or stay there? Or,
yes,
like,
was I
absorbed
there
it?
as a baby?
Right.
Because I was looking at my son one day. He's 7, and I was thinking, God damn, he doesn't remember anything from before 3 years ago.
Yeah. Why'd I do all those fucking mommy and me classes?
Why did I sing all those songs?
Yeah.
Why did we go to those play groups? Why did we do any of this? I don't remember.
But yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure there's all kinds of like flotsam kind of like, in there just waiting to bubble up
Yes.
subconsciously.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, like, has anyone here not had the dream where you have like an extra secret room like in your
Yes,
apartment
I've
or
had that
like,
one.
yeah.
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 Yeah, you
I
just
mean,
keep going back.
Yeah.
You just keep going back.
Right.
In New York, it's just like, oh, I have closets.
Yeah, right. I'm
Like,
excited. I'm like,
yeah.
yes, storage space.
I can put my coat somewhere.
I have to admit, I wonder if like a real estate thing popped into my mind because when I went to boarding school, they have like alumni weekend like every year, And never forget, one year I was like in the 10th grade, and these two old ladies knocked on the door, and they were like, "We were here in 1932." You know, and I'm like, what? And they went and they turned the door around. They were like, and those were their names, like engraved on the door.
Whoa.
And so, like, after that, I really started looking at spaces differently.
Yeah.
Did you turn around and they weren't there anymore?
No, because I think I would have died of a heart attack at 17. But, like, yeah, so I think there's something about spaces that constantly occupy my mind. Like,
Right.
I love to watch this video on YouTube almost every night. It's called New York Now and Then, and it's just showing.
Oh.
Right.
Yes, you've.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you've seen it.
I love it.
Yes.
And it's
amazing.
1873.
Yep,
Right.
yep.
And then it's 2014.
Yeah.
Right.
And it'd be a corner from the same angle.
Oh,
Yeah.
What is that?
awesome.
139
I don't do math.
years apart.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in the East Village,
Right.
and a lot of it is like Alphabet City and the
Yes.
just Lower East Side.
Oh,
Yes,
That's
so it makes me
amazing.
think about spaces
Right.
and how
Yeah.
how we inhabit spaces.
Totally.
I went to the house that I grew up in from like when I was born to when I was 16. And I went back recently, and I took my daughter because I was like, it'll be a lot less threatening if I show up like, I grew up here. Can I come in? If like I have a kid,
You gotta
with
bring the
me.
kid, yeah.
Push past.
So, you know, I go in, I knocked on the door, and this old lady came to the door. This old lady from Bangladesh. So, like, you know, she was like, I had to explain myself, kind of like, I swear to God, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I live, you know, I grew up in this house, and finally she was like, oh, all right, come in. She let us in, and it was like somebody had superimposed a house on my house.
Oh.
Like, it was so weird. But then, you know, in the hallway, there are these pictures of them and their family, and I'm like, somebody else has this house in their brain. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
someone else has the architecture
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
world as they understand it
Same
made by
yeah.
this house. Like,
Yeah.
that's fucking crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. I took my daughter back to the apartment that my husband and I lived in up until she was 5 months old. We actually isn't watching tonight's. I couldn't believe this. I knocked on the door, and these two women let me in. I think because I had the kid.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I have to admit, I was pissed because that place was so renovated. I was mad. I was
Right.
like, "What? You got a backsplash against the behind the sink and
Yeah.
the walls, and they knocked down that wall." I kept trying to get the landlord to knock down this one wall between the kitchen and living room, and I'm like, but I just couldn't believe they were like, "Sure, come in."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I could be a killer.
Right.
Like, you don't
It's a lot
even
of
know
trust.
me.
So, rob people with jars of bugs, and always bring a kid with you if you're going to do crimes.
Yo, let me tell
Are
you,
the
you
two
bring a
things-
kid with you, you can do almost anything.
I hope
The
people are
younger
taking
kid-
notes. Are you taking notes?
It's
Yeah.
true. You can get away with murder if you bring your kid with
truly
you.
Can. Yeah, which is how I do all my murders.
This has become a true crime podcast.
Yeah, exactly. We pivot.
We find out you robbed a liquor store. I'd be like, what?
You can't have a kid in the liquor store. God damn it. All right, you want to see your picture?
Oh my God.
All right.
Dying to see this one.
Let's see. Okay. Oh no, I did this like beforehand. I can't draw while people are talking to me. Oh shit, no, that's not you. Hold on. Hang on.
Wait a second.
All right. This is yours.
Wow.
This is you. Look at the
Oh.
picture. And saying, if this place is rain controlled, I am staying asleep.
Oh my God. That is
That's so great.
awesome.
Yeah, all right, now that we're all good and itchy, I'm going to bring up our third guest. He is a very funny comedian, also an illustrator.
Oh, great. Cool.
So, yeah, that's a very on brand for tonight.
There are more of us.
Yeah.
I feel like one of the
There's more.
X-Men.
I know. we can do the, I don't know.
It's a secret handshake.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. It with tongues.
Yeah. We all have Giardia.
He has been on America's Got Talent, so I have some Terry Crews questions. Please welcome to the stage, Doogie Horner.
Here he is.
Hello.
Hey, pal.
Thank
Hey,
you. Thank
how's
you
it
very
going?
much. Good. Great to be here.
It's great to have you. How are you doing?
I am fantastic. I just got back from the beach, as you can tell from my outfit.
Hey.
You're wearing
like-
a Hawaiian shirt.
Look like I
Okay,
took
that
a boat
is
here.
a great beach outfit because
thank you.
okay, here is what elevates your. I'm gonna womansplain your outfit. What makes it a great beach outfit is that it's not like stretch jersey. It's like a nice casual, like it's not give up clothes.
Yeah, right. It's Waikiki vacation clothes.
And look, I'm not being a dick about stretch jersey. I basically live in stretch jersey. I work from home.
What's a stretch jersey?
Oh, ooh.
So like a really long jersey, like a stretch
No,
limousine?
stretch jersey is just like t-shirt, like crappy t-shirt material. Like it's very drapey. It's very forgiving.
I consider it a uniform.
It doesn't. Yeah,
It is
it
a
typically does not have buttons. Like usually,
not
if you're
wooden
thinking,
buttons.
yeah, those are nice buttons.
Oh yeah, these are wood.
This is a nice
It's
shirt.
real wood. How they make these is this takes a whole tree
Yeah.
It just
and they whittle it
whittles
down. That's why this shirt's so expensive.
Right. It's teak. They're teak.
It's the heartwood.
Yeah, that
of
could
a-
have made like 14 of Maggie Gyllenhaal's bathtubs, but Maggie Gyllenhaal has a teak bathtub.
She
You
does.
guys,
Really?
I just need you to know that as a sidebar. Yeah. Yeah.
I'd be worried about splinters.
In her house in Park Slope. Another thing we can burn down. Yeah. How was the beach?
It was fantastic. Great weather, nice warm water,
Where did you go?
lots of ice cream. Cape May. We always go to
Okay.
Cape May.
Ah.
And a gasp.
That's our hometown.
Oh, really?
Our previous guest's hometown.
You're from Cape May? We always stay at the Shell Font. You know where that is?
She saw it in a
Get out.
dream.
This is crazy. You're like, my name is Shalf. My last name is Chalfont. That's my hotel.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, we love it down there. Very chill. Been going there for years. I've been going there ever since I did a show at the Chalfont with my friend Michael Grasso, who's a magician, and I met him when I was on America's Got Talent, and I love him because he's one of those magicians that hates doing magic for people. People are like, "Do a trick for me," and he goes, "Oh God!"
Right.
He gets angry.
Right.
This one time we were walking through a casino in Vegas, and we were heading towards a bank of gold elevator doors, and somebody recognized him, and they go, "Hey, Magic Mike, do a trick!" And they threw a quarter at him.
Holy shit! That's such a dick move!
And without breaking his stride, Michael caught the quarter, made it disappear. He's still walking. Made it reappear as 2 quarters, made those disappear, stepped into the elevator, turned around and glared at the guy as the doors closed.
Holy
Oh my
moly.
god! I seriously, that was a very sexual experience.
I am erect
just
right now. That is amazing.
And I
Yeah.
asked him, I said, how'd you make it 2 quarters? Because I could understand making the 1 quarter disappear. You palm it or you
Right.
hide it inside your nostril. That's an old trick. But you just walk around with quarters taped to your wrist? And he just gave me a look like,
Do you not?
like magic is real or I'm not going to tell you or whatever. So, but anyway, so
Wow.
after
Is he a
this-
sorcerer?
what's that?
Is he a sorcerer?
He's a very good magician. And so he asked me to do this show with him in Cape May, and I said yes, but I didn't realize if you're doing a magic show and it's not in Las Vegas, half the audience is going to be children.
Yeah.
And so I get there, and it's all just kids. And so I tried to do like kid crowd work
Yeah.
and then segue into my adult material.
You guys dating?
Kids don't know
You
where
guys on
they're
Tinder?
from. Like,
And I was like, who here likes ice cream? What's your favorite flavor? Strawberry? My first wife left me for an ice cream man. Who here likes Paw Patrol? Who's your favorite character? You know, a lot of people say a dog is a man's best friend. These people have never tried cocaine. Am I right? It was brutal. And I got heckled really bad. There was this 12-year-old in the front row. He was like one of the oldest kids. And he was so bored. He's like, I can't believe I'm here with my parents. And he kept heckling me. And I threatened to drown him in the ocean. And it
as
got a
appropriate.
huge reaction. Like everybody laughed. All the
Right.
parents in the back started laughing. And I was like, you hear that? That's your parents in the back laughing. Having a great time. Watch it. So anyways, ever since then, we've been going back to the Chalfont. That's how, yeah. Great food. Yeah.
Great food, great
Oh,
times,
God.
great crowd
So
work.
that's how we discovered it.
So I'm assuming you brought your kid.
Yeah. I have a son. His name is Kirby. He's 3.5.
It's a great name
And he's
for a kid.
gorgeous.
Right.
We were playing at the arcade. He loves Cape May because it has this favorite video game, Iceman, where you squirt guns at zombies and you turn them to ice. And we were playing. We had just come off the beach, and he was in his swim trunks. And this really old lady owns the arcade, and she's so old, and she's in a wheelchair. And she tells me, she goes, that kid's got to put a shirt on. And I said, oh, okay, sorry, I'll put his shirt on. She goes, oh, it's a boy? He goes, he's so gorgeous, and his features are so delicate. I thought he was a girl.
Whoa.
So when Scooby-Doo and the gang
So-
found him at the end, did you pull the mask off and it was her the whole time?
Oh.
Wow.
Well,
And was the implication was it then okay that your son didn't have a shirt on? if
Then
he
she was
a
like,
boy?
"Yeah, keep it off." I tried to put it on. She's like, "No, keep it off. I like
Right.
looking."
That's way worse.
God.
I'm kidding. She didn't say that.
There are so many layers of creepiness to that.
Yeah.
And
Okay, May.
my son and I were playing sticky ball on the beach.
Wait, what's that?
You got these Velcro paddles, and you throw the ball, and it sticks to them.
Yeah.
And these people told me, they go, "Oh, you're very good at that." And I said, "I used to be a professional, but the business was too intense." And I thought it was clear it was a joke, but that night I was at the bar, and the lady was there, and she's like, "Oh, look, it's the professional baseball player." She goes, "My husband wanted to ask you, what team did you play for?"
And that's how you entered your new life.
Yeah.
Sticky ball champ.
Sticky ball champ.
Wow.
You know, Holly, I should have asked you this too. Do you dream about your kid?
Almost exclusively now, yeah.
Really?
Well, all my nightmares are about something horrible happening to him.
Huh. Because I never dream about my daughter. I've only dreamed about her 3 times, and each time it's been awful.
Oh, yeah.
Like I murdered her.
Wow.
Once when she was a baby,
That's
I dreamed
probably normal.
I cut off her head.
I bet that's a normal.
No, and it wasn't like
dream.
I was mad and I murdered her. It's like I'd accidentally fucked something up. Like I dreamed I'd cut her head off, but she was still blinking, and I was like, if you know.
Blinking's a good sign.
Well, I was like, if I hold her really carefully, no one will know.
Like Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah, exactly. Weekend at Babies.
With some sunglasses on her.
Yeah, for kids.
Yeah, and a Hawaiian shirt.
So, yeah, no, like very, very seldom do I dream about her, and it's always incredibly traumatic when I do.
Well,
In fact, the last time I woke up screaming was because I had a terrible dream about having lost her.
Oof.
And then my
Oh,
husband was
I've had
crying,
those.
saying, "What have I done?" I was like, "What the fuck have you done?" So,
Wow.
Yeah.
yeah, I've had the where is the kid? Can't find him.
Right.
Thing.
How old is
Yeah.
Kirby? How old is
3.5.
Oh, okay,
Right.
so that's, wandering off age.
Mhm.
Like in your brain. Like
And in
that's-
real life.
yeah.
I mean, like that's the worst thing in
He's
your brain.
always
Right.
trying to. He's
Yeah.
trying to test that limit because
Yeah.
you know, I thought my son was. When I see pictures of him, I'm always surprised at how small he is because in my life he's huge because he's always 2 inches away from my face,
Right.
and he's never more than he's. Your kids are always so close to you, and this is the age where they're trying to see how far away from my parent can I get. You know what I mean? So now he's
Yeah.
starting to sort of wander off or walk out a door without us, and he gets such a thrill from oh my god,
Right.
Yeah.
I can't see my dad, for a second.
I still get that when I don't see my dad.
When you close that door and they go back to Australia, what a thrill!
But now you know the exact spot in the Indian Ocean where your son has to
They-
move to get away from you.
There's no getting away from me.
In Rottnest with all the quackers. Anyway.
Oh.
Oh.
But so tell us your dream. And I am talking specifically. I probably should. You told me 3. I probably should have told you beforehand which one I did.
Oh, okay.
I like how I said that. Like I can't even say it aloud.
It was a small spoiler earlier.
You're
but I
right.
think
Yeah, I
people-
accidentally
But it's
advanced-
good. A good
I
spoiler.
advanced the slide with my butt somehow.
It was like a great teaser trailer.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, when I was a kid, I had night terrors. You said you have night terrors too.
Yeah.
And so, for people that don't know, night terrors, it's like you're half asleep, half awake. So you're having the dream, but you're awake, so you can sort of see it. So it's sort of like hallucinating.
Right.
And it must create some sort of terrifying imbalance in your brain because it's very scary. Like whatever you're dreaming about, even if that thing is not scary, you're very scared. And I think it's because your brain's you can't reason properly or whatever. So I was a little kid and I was having these night terrors, and my parents didn't know what they were. They didn't know that they were night terrors. And my parents just thought I was being crazy or that I was being annoying or that I was doing it on purpose for attention. And so they told me, they were like, you got to stop. Because you know what a nightmare is. Like you wake up and you're screaming. But with night terrors, you're walking around, you're talking, you're doing weird shit, flipping furniture and stuff. And so they thought I was just being bad. And so my dad was like, you got to stop this behavior. You're waking us up all the time. If you don't stop it, the next time you do it, I'm going to come in there and I'm going to spank you. So I had this night terror that was terrifying, where there was like a devil at the foot of my bed. Did you say what? There was a devil at the foot of my bed. And then I was very scared, and as it dispelled, my dad came charging into the room, and he was like, "I told you!" And he started to spank me.
Right.
From the end of your bed. Like from the end of your bed.
From the
He's
end-
just
no,
sitting
Did
there.
Are you trying
Wow.
to punch up my bit? You're like, here's how that traumatic experience would be funnier. What if? Was your dad wearing a sombrero? Did he have clown shoes on?
Is there anything he can call back to? Is that?
we just need to heighten it like a little bit every time. Like, so did he
Wow.
feel bad after? Like after he like, did they ever figure out what night terrors were?
So
Like-
then eventually, yeah, so maybe a couple weeks after that or a couple months after that, I can't quite remember, they found out what they were. They're like, these are, night terrors, and it's like a medical problem. And my dad felt really bad.
right.
Is there a
And-
cure if it's medical? Is there an actual cure for night terrors?
I don't
Not
think
sleeping?
so. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Insomnia.
Never
Yeah.
sleep again. Someone say alcohol?
Yeah. It
Pretty sure
helps.
that's the cure for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he felt really bad about it, and there you go. That's my hilarious
Wow.
dream story. This is a comedy show. Why isn't anybody laughing? What's going on?
But I feel like the devil on the end of the bed is a common one. I feel like
yeah,
that's
I think that's a common night
there's
terror.
some other people,
thing.
who
Yeah.
said they have had that.
Yeah.
I've had that one. You've had that one? Yeah.
Oh.
Like that's a thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh,
Yes.
Huh.
And the bed moves sometimes.
Well,
Yeah.
here is a thing that I have learned is that when you fall asleep, your brain releases a hormone that paralyzes your body so that you don't
Right.
do football things in your sleep.
and like sleepwalking stuff.
And sometimes when you're half awake, it hasn't turned off that hormone yet. So
Right.
your brain is conscious, but your body is frozen, basically. And you're getting all this weird signal input.
Right.
And they say that might be a lot of what happens when people think they've been like abducted by an alien
Right.
or
Sleep paralysis.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think the
So-
people that say that are the people that know about the aliens. And they're like,
It's a pretty
"Hold on
good
second.
explanation.
Yeah,
It's
aliens aren't real. Stop it.
Sleep
Stop,
paralysis.
stop making
Yeah.
alien noises.
Doogie, hold on.
That's not. Have you heard of old hag syndrome?
Yes.
If you Google old hag syndrome, it's a sleep
I
paralysis.
live it.
Oh, who named that syndrome?
It's named
my
after
God.
my mom. No, so it's one of those things where, it's a sleep paralysis thing. It's a sleep terror thing where you feel there's someone in the room at the end of the bed or thereabouts, but you're paralyzed, you can't move, but you're awake and also asleep. And it's old hags. If you Google it, old hags. There's a whole Reddit on old hag syndrome.
Yeah, well,
Old hag syndrome.
terrifying.
I know what I'm doing later tonight.
Old hag syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big
Old hag
thing.
sounds like a bottom shelf whiskey.
It's all I drink.
It's right next to Evan Williams.
And so, out of curiosity, do you not spank your kid?
I spank my kid daily. No, yeah, of course I don't spank my kid. Well, I don't know.
There's
Now,
someone spanking their kid in the
Yeah.
audience right now. What's that noise?
having said that, I don't think, like, my dad spanking me when I was young, I don't have a problem with it. I'm not angry at him for it. He didn't do it. He didn't like doing it, and he didn't, like, I don't know. I wasn't that such a
My
big
parents
deal.
were Southern, but I grew up in Connecticut, so I was the only kid who had to go into the yard and cut my own switch. Like,
Oh.
yeah, that like was not a thing in suburban Hartford.
Yeah.
Like everybody spanked because it was the '80s, but
That's the
not
thing,
Many
I feel
people
like-
used sticks.
Things changed. Like, my dad's dad, so my grandfather used to take my dad down to the basement and, like, beat the shit out of him.
Right.
He taught him to swim by throwing him in the river and almost drowning him.
Right.
Yeah.
And then my dad was, like, a little bit nicer. And then now I'm like a cupcake. I'm basically like to my son, I'm like, you make the rules. Should I go to bed?
Yeah.
We keep getting nicer and
Right.
nicer.
The-
And each generation does it the way they do it because they're
Yeah.
like, I guess, I think this is how you do it.
Yeah.
You know, and each generation, I think, we're like, okay, I'm going to be a little nicer than my parent was.
And
So
now-
I don't blame my dad for spanking me. He was way nicer than his dad
Right.
was. And actually, it was interesting recently. So my dad's getting very old now because I'm 21, so he's in his 40s. No, he's very old. He's like in his 70s. And he brought up the night terrors thing recently. and he was like, "Oh, I remember you had those night terrors when you were a little kid, and I was very nice to you, and and like he said something like that. He was sort of like, I was really nice to you when you had those, right?" And he looked at me like, "Please say right."
Oh God, that's the saddest thing I've ever heard.
Because he's trying to rewrite
like a revisionist history
his
of
history.
parenting.
He's like,
Man.
and I said, "Yeah, man, you were very nice."
Man.
Wow.
Fuck. All right,
What
you
do
want to
say
see your
that?
drawing?
Yeah, I really want to see this one.
Jeez.
We caught a fleeting glimpse of this. This is,
Hard.
I'm going to call it. This is going to be one of the
Listen,
the
this
best
is a very
you've ever done, I
sad
want to say.
comedy show.
I feel bad for anybody.
Okay. There is a devil saying this is going to hurt me more than it hurts you. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. This is for I need you to know I did not like drawing this.
Boobs!
Yeah. I'm going to have to request that you burn this.
Wow. If it doesn't just spontaneously combust
Yeah,
in
it'll
your
spontaneously
hand.
combust.
Seriously, it's
I
in
can't
a.
hang this
Wow.
in my house.
You absolutely should not hang this in your house.
Tell you what, I'll put
Go,
I'll
give
put it in
to
the dungeon.
Your dad.
Oh, yes! This is the answer to his question.
Oh God, Doogie, thank you so much.
Thanks for having
Thank
me.
Doogie.
Thank you.
You're the best. That was amazing.
All right, you
Wow.
guys.
Isn't Kirby is a
Jesus
great...
Christ. Yeah, you know I'm gonna go see Midsummer after this. Like, what am I doing to myself?
Wow.
Besides getting like some serious summer look inspiration.
Yeah.
Like, I want embroidered and covered in blood.
I wish I could pull that off on stage every night.
Yeah.
If I could look like an extra from Weekend at Bernie's too. Also,
Listen, dream big.
last summer I did a gig at Dangerfields and I showed up in the Hawaiian shirt, shorts, and boat shoes. And a guy called Ryan, he's a comedian called Ryan. He goes, "What the hell is the matter with you?" That's what he said when I walked in. He goes, "Have some respect." And then I was like, "Hey, you're a comedian. Calm down. This is fun." And then I went up there, and then they heckled me about my knees.
Oh.
They just kept making fun of my little
He
knees.
boat shoe shamed you?
Yeah, he boat shoe shamed me.
Oh, well.
Comedians are the worst.
Yeah. Boat
Except
shoes,
Doogie,
though.
he's pretty great.
Yeah. Yay! Our final guest is one of the best humor writers, certainly in this room and definitely in the nation. I did that backwards. Anyway, she has many books out. The one is called How to Be Successful Without Hurting Men's Feelings, which is like an awesome title. Please welcome to the stage, Sarah Cooper.
Woo! Sarah!
Hi.
Welcome.
How's it
Hello.
going?
Oh my God, I'm so terrified and scared and nervous.
And itchy?
Oh, I'm not itchy anymore, but thanks for reminding me.
I'm going to keep coming back to
Oh,
that because I
God.
want everyone to suffer as I have suffered.
Yeah, I had a tick when I was little. I remember after camp, I reached up and did this, and there was a bump, and I was like, "What is that?" And then it fell out of my head.
Ah, man.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was disgusting, and I
But
just remembered
did
that
it
just
leave
now.
The little jaws in there, or
Yeah, they're probably still in there. I don't know. I don't know.
So
That explains my mental problems. Yeah.
my dad used to get ticks off with a hot knife with butter on it, which so that's actually a thing. That's just not okay.
With
All
the
right,
butter?
I am pleased that that's not just one of those things from my childhood. That,
You had so many ticks that there was a process.
I mean, yeah.
It's like
Okay.
a hot
Lyme
knife through
disease-
butter
Lyme
through a
disease
tick.
started in my state.
Lyme disease. That's
Yeah.
your claim to fame. Lyme disease started in my state.
Connecticut.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
really spreading now. It's really getting
My-
some traction.
Yeah.
It's going viral.
Yeah. Oh,
It's going viral.
Holy crap.
yeah.
My very best friend has Lyme disease.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that
She's
sucks.
Irene from The Real World. If anybody knows
Wow.
her,
Shit.
that's my best friend.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
her lesser credit.
Does she
is
have,
Lyme
like-
disease.
Yeah.
chronic Lyme disease or
Yes.
the actual?
She's had it for Wait, what?
They are both real. They are both real. I'm sorry.
Do you know about this?
I don't know what we're talking about.
Lyme
boy.
disease has mutated into this whole spectrum of like symptoms that are like Lyme-like, but also very hard to pin down in terms of what they really are.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Psychosomatic, are you saying?
I'm not saying anything about your friend.
No, it's the fibromyalgia of Lyme disease.
Literally, go
Okay.
fuck yourself. No,
But no, one of my best friends in high school, like she was like, I don't know what's wrong. I feel really shitty. And she's like, I have this weird rash. And it was like this bullseye rash.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just read an article about some weird new disease that's in the newspaper. And she went to the doctor and it was Lyme disease.
you sound like Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Yeah.
Just then, you do a lot of
There was
voices.
a newspaper involved.
In
so-
my past.
That is like your
I'm
mansplaining
Rocky.
voice. Yeah.
I know. I
Yeah.
have. Sometimes I get stuck. It's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
So I don't know. Do you ever wake up screaming, Sarah?
Do I ever wake up screaming? I've never woken up screaming.
Really?
No.
I recommend it as an experience.
No. I just scream all day,
Right.
doing things just all day.
And
yeah.
then you're just done with it. at
yeah,
night.
I'm just done with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So are you a usual nightmare haver, or is it sort of like...
No, I don't really remember my dreams that much. I think it's because I really don't like hearing about people's dreams,
Oh,
and
well,
I
you're
don't
on
like
the right
talking
show.
about dreams. I was doing this joke for a while about how, like, if I had been at Martin Luther King's speech, like, as soon as he started, I would have been like, "Oh God, here we go."
Nobody
we
wants
go.
to hear about your dream.
Talking about your dream. It doesn't mean anything, dude. It doesn't mean anything. It's just random synapses firing in your head.
I have a dream. There was a dolphin, and you were there, and you were there, and you were there.
That is the hottest take on the coldest news
That's such a great bit.
I have
love
ever
that idea.
heard. Holy
That's
shit,
funny.
Sarah. Have you just been sitting here wanting to stab yourself in the eye? Like,
No. These have been good. These have been really good. I like that reaction. I know I told it at an open mic, and there was a kid who was actually in high school, and there was no reaction. And I was like, "Do they still teach the speech?"
Right.
And he was like, "Sometimes."
oof.
What do you mean sometimes?
That's
Sometimes.
How sometimes?
That's
Sometimes. Like,
American
what does that
canon.
mean?
That's
They should be
like-
teaching that all the time,
Yeah.
every
Yeah,
day,
at
every
all
day,
times. Like-
at all times.
They
Pledge
need to
allegiance to
teach
the
that
flag, then
with-
recite the speech.
Right.
Exactly.
They need to teach it along with all the other ideals that we don't live up
Right,
to.
exactly,
Like, yeah.
exactly.
I went to
Jesus.
the Martin Luther King, the big cutout. I was in DC last week and went to the memorial with my sister. And she's from Australia, and she knew the whole speech, and she
Right.
doesn't even live in this country.
Yeah.
and she was
Yeah.
like crying. She was so moved by it, and I'm
Other
like,
countries are so much better than ours.
Man,
well, I
You
think they just
know
have
that?
less going
you
on.
are
noticed
not
that?
wrong.
Because this
Yeah.
huge protest in Hong Kong, like, it's
Yeah.
about an extradition
Right.
thing.
You're right. Other countries are
Millions
better
of
than us.
people are protesting for a thing that none of us even understand. Like,
Right.
we couldn't even explain it if we tried.
Yeah.
And we can't even get people out for, like, things that are just basic.
Yeah,
Like,
Right.
I don't
if
know.
I don't get to wear a pink hat, I'm not going.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Unless there's like a really catchy hashtag, forget
Right.
about
No,
it.
it has to be a hashtag.
Yeah.
People are protesting. They changed the recipe for McDonald's fries. They
Right.
like that would. That's what
Whoa,
they were
whoa,
protesting.
whoa,
Well,
Yeah,
hang on,
yeah,
hang on,
yeah.
stop. Did they get rid of the
Exactly.
McRib again? What happened?
Exactly. Which chicken sandwich is the best? We don't know.
Man,
Yeah.
chicken sandwich Twitter has been a
Fu-
whole
Yeah.
I'm so
thing.
pissed off, man.
Jesus.
Because I swear to God, 5 days ago, it was like all of these fast food places support Trump and are supporting his reelection
Yes.
campaign.
Right.
And now
Yeah.
we're all like, ooh, which chicken sandwich is the best?
It's
I'm like,
almost like we're super easily distracted from
Yeah.
things that are
I
very
know.
soon going to
What
kill
is
us all.
that over there?
Right.
Okay.
You're
Ooh,
right.
shiny.
Right.
Ooh, shiny.
Right.
Ooh.
Oh, or the ocean's rising squirrel.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
don't know. Besides the nightmare that we're all living.
Yes. Yeah.
So tell us about your dream.
Okay, so this is like going off the theme of daddy issues, I guess.
Yep.
So I have 2 older sisters, and my older sister, Rachel, has a developmental disability. So she lives with my parents, and she can kind of do a lot of things. She's very sweet. She's always happy. She's just like the sweetest person. And my father has always been this person that's like very intelligent, very smart. He was an engineer, and he very much valued intelligence. So he never really appreciated the fact that my sister had a problem. And so he kind of like just thought she was lazy, which was hard growing up. He was pretty abusive to her and just not understanding the fact that she had a problem. And it's always been really hard for me. And so my nightmare is this is why it's so real, is because I'm sleeping. The nightmare is that I'm sleeping and it's so quiet in here. It's making me uncomfortable. But,
This is good. This is good.
I'm sleeping and the phone rings. I'm in my pajamas and it's cozy. I'm very cozy. The phone rings. It's like a landline. I pick it up. It's my dad. And my dad always starts conversations exact same way every time. He's like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "I'm at home. I'm in bed." And he's like, "Okay, how's the weather?" And I'm like, "It's fine. It's it's like night. Dad's conversation." He's like, "Okay, good. So everything's fine with the car. Like everything is good. Blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Yeah, everything's fine. Everything's fine." And then he just goes, "Yeah, Rachel's dead." And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, I guess she had this big gulp from a fast food place, and I guess she had been drinking out of it all weekend, and I guess some bacteria got in the straw, and she died." And I'm like, "What?" And I start crying, and I'm like, "She's dead?" And my father has zero reaction. He's just like, "Yep, she's dead. Yep, she's gone." And I'm like hyperventilating, crying, like, "Dad, she's dead. She's dead. She's dead." And he's like, "Yep, she's gone. She's gone." And he just almost seems like it's no big deal.
Whoa.
And that, it's terrifying that that's his reaction. It's like I'm so sad that my sister's dead, but I'm heartbroken that my father doesn't seem to care,
right?
And that's the hardest part. And I've never seen my father cry. Mm-hmm. Like I've never seen him really show any emotion, and I think that's part of it. Is just that I could be hyperventilating, and he would be like, "Yep, that's just life.
Right.
That's the way it is."
I wonder if it's on an old phone too, because I am not a professional dream interpreter.
What?
I know this whole.
How
show's
could
a
you be
lie.
running this show?
Got it down.
You're right. Sorry. Good night. But no, an old rotary phone. I feel like it's such like a totemic object from childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like. Everybody remembers what it was like to have one of those. If there are people who don't, just get out now. You should be in the bar.
But please subscribe to the podcast.
Right, yeah.
And follow us on Instagram.
Right. But it's interesting that it would be like this object that's bringing you back to sort of a central childhood fear.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I agree that the scariest thing about that is just the complete what?
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Yeah.
His reaction is the scariest thing about
his
that.
reaction. And honestly, a few weeks ago, I was home. I surprised my mom because she wasn't feeling well, so I went down to Florida to see them. And that was the weekend that there was the El Paso shooting.
Oh,
Right.
boy. Yeah.
And my dad looked at me and he goes, when it's your time, it's just your time.
He said that in words to your face when you were awake.
Yes.
Oh.
Wow.
So
Yikes.
I went to he went to his father's funeral, he went to his mother's funeral, never a tear, never nothing, and it's just
He's like a cowboy. It's like an old West
think he has
cowboy.
A secret
Yes.
closet that
Well.
he cries in at night, or
Yeah.
is he just squishing it all down?
I think it's squishing. I think
Yeah.
it's
Right.
totally squishing all the
Old
way
just
down.
piling up.
And so I've never seen my husband cry. So
Oh.
I feel like I kind of am
You married your dad.
fucked.
Man.
I fucked up.
Oh.
I feel like I fucked up.
I think you blew it, buddy.
I think if you
Wow.
try hard enough, you can make your husband.
Yeah.
Listen. I was. I
Do it.
Tell me how. Because I was walking down the aisle on our wedding day, and he said, "You know what? I saw you walking down the aisle, and almost."
Oh.
And it felt like I almost, but then I didn't. And I was like,
Wow.
yeah.
Your dad
I
is.
considered shedding a tear.
Yeah.
God, he
But I
never should
saved
have
it.
told you that.
That's amazing.
It's like
Yeah.
you came very close, but it just wasn't for us.
Yeah.
He's like one of these old Clint Eastwood types. Just
Except he's Jamaican.
yeah,
Right.
like a Jamaican
Which is
Clint Eastwood.
weird,
I'm not
right?
doing that bit,
Right.
but yeah, that's insane.
Yes.
Man.
Wow.
Yeah.
That dream reflects kind of what he's exactly like.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if it did, God forbid, ever happen,
Right.
you want to hope that that's when he's saving up the tears for that moment.
I don't think I'll ever see my father cry.
I really
I
hope
don't-
you never do.
I don't think I ever will.
But
yeah.
that's
And I will
incredible.
Yeah, it's incredible.
How
Yeah.
old is your dad, by the way?
He is 76.
76.
Yeah.
Okay. And was he raised in Jamaica?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. See, his context
Yeah.
is different for what crying.
Hey, that's
Yeah,
racism.
it's-
Someone's
generalizing right
there
now.
you go, Jamaicans.
Right.
That's
There you
the problem.
go. 74-year-old Jamaican classic.
Stoic people.
Stop.
Man.
Wow.
But you cry, right?
Of course, I'm a baby.
Yeah.
I cry at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
I cried yesterday because my dog coughed. I did. I was worried he was going to die.
I have dreams, though,
adorable.
that my husband is leaving me, and he sits me down. He's just like, I don't love you anymore, and honestly, I never did love you.
Oof.
And he's just super
Wow.
cold about it, and not like he's being mean, but he's just like, I don't understand why this would upset you. You know, and it's just like, it's such a horrible.
That's awful.
Like, yeah. But he does cry. I mean, he doesn't like cry on the regular because he's not a baby. But
Where do you have
like,
those night
yeah.
terrors? I mean-
Yeah. No, then he just yells.
I always thought it was because I married him because I've never been really attracted to like feminine men. Like
Right.
any man who's like sort of feminine, like I get turned off. But then again, in middle school, like my crush was Bret Michaels from Poison, and he wore makeup and he had
Right.
hairspray. Like so that's not true.
But
like
he
I actually
was weirdly masculine about it. As I was a big hair metal fan.
Yeah.
When I think we were about the same age.
Yeah.
So I was like super into Poison and
Were you?
Cinderella and Bon Jovi.
Oh my
God. And I feel like Poison was weirdly like the most like dude aggro of the
Yeah.
bunch. Like
I
they
think
wore
so.
makeup, but
Right.
like I don't know. They had a lot
Out
of
of all of
big
them.
dick energy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Leather
Yeah.
dick energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we got that out.
That was an incredible one, by the
Yeah.
way.
Thank you for
That
letting
was-
me
hit
share
me
my
with
journey.
this.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. All right. So, are you ready for your picture?
Yes.
Oh, boy. Here we
Okay.
go. I'll pull this. Here we go.
Oh, yeah, you're the tall one. Why haven't I been making use of this the whole time?
Your assistant.
All right. So this is you right
Wow.
on the bright
what an
side.
angle.
This connection is crystal clear. You
That's
guys' cell
amazing.
phones are trash. Old phones, you can hear everything.
She's got the little bonnet on.
So, listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, the new $20 bill.
Maybe that's racism. I don't know.
Wow.
I just really wanted to sell the whole sleeping angle.
That's amazing.
Sarah, thank you so
my
much. You
God,
guys, that's
thank
our
you.
show. Thank you, Sarah.
That was so
thank
great.
you,
Thank
Doogie.
you.
Thank you, Holly. Thank you, Gastor. You guys
Wow.
hang out, have some drinks. Yeah, thank you all for coming. Good night.
All right. Go have some nightmares.
Nightmares is held monthly at the Red Room at KGB Bar in New York City. I'm Emily Flake. My co-host tonight was Jason Chatfield. Live sound recording and edited by Shannon Manning for Good Orbit.
Houston, 20 seconds to LOS T-Drift.
Roger, nice to be in orbit.